Most of us treat our hours like an inexhaustible bank account. In a quiet village, one young man lived this way every day, sleeping through the mornings and wandering through the afternoons, acting as if he had an infinite supply of tomorrows. His father watched this from the sidelines. He saw a son trapped in a dangerous stagnation, squandering his youth because he felt no pressure to use it. To address this, the father retrieved an old pocket watch from a dusty cupboard. He didn't offer a lecture. He simply placed the brass object in his son's palm. He gave the boy a single task: take the watch to the local market and ask the merchants to name its price. The boy accepted. He understood how to value things he could touch: metal, glass, and gears. He set off to measure the watch, unaware of the invisible resource he was actually wasting. The marketplace was a landscape of clear rules and hard numbers. Everything there had a tag, a weight, and a defined worth. The responses followed a predictable pattern. One trader offered 500 rupees, another 1,000, and a third 800. Returning home, the boy felt he mastered the assignment, proving that for physical objects, the market settles on a median price. The father listened, took the watch back, and placed it back in the cupboard. He then gave the boy a second, different set of instructions for the following morning. This first phase proved that for tangible goods, society has a functional system for reaching consensus. The boy was now confident he understood how value was calculated. The next day, the instruction changed. The father told his son to go back to the same merchants, but this time he was to ask for the price of the time inside the watch. The boy returned to the square. He held the watch out once more, but instead of asking for its weight in silver, he asked what they would pay for the minutes and hours it measured. The results were a total reversal. The merchants didn't make offers. They grew frustrated. They told him to go away, laughing at the foolish question. The boy stood in the center of the square, holding the same brass object that had been worth 1,000 rupees just a day ago. Now it was a source of ridicule. He could no longer find a way to make the rules of the market apply to the seconds ticking away. The marketplace's rejection highlighted a hole in the boy's logic. We live in a world where we can price the container, but have no way to buy or sell the life contained within it. Retreating from the crowd, the boy found a quiet shop where an old watchmaker sat hunched over his bench. The old man listened to the boy's question and paused his work. He explained that you can accumulate millions in wealth, but that capital is useless for buying back even a single second of your history. The watchmaker described a daily allowance given to every person. Whether rich or poor, everyone receives the exact same deposit, but the drain is constant. You cannot bank these segments. You only control how to direct the flow of your time before it disappears. Time is not a commodity to be acquired. It is a universal constant. Its value is determined solely by how the owner chooses to deploy it. The boy stood still as the village moved around him. He began to look at the months and years he had spent wandering and realized that those segments of his life were now permanently gone, with nothing to show for their expenditure. He returned home to his father. He didn't bring back a price tag or a bag of coins, but a realization of why the second experiment had failed where the first had succeeded. His life changed from that afternoon. He stopped wandering aimlessly. He began to work with intention, treating each hour as a deliberate investment rather than a resource he could afford to lose. He saw that time is a unique asset. It is free for everyone to access, but its value is priceless because it cannot be replenished. Since time can never be stored or bought, the boy learned that he couldn't wait for a better future to arrive. He had to build it by being mindful of how he spent his finite hours, 1 second at a time.